All right, so we got 3 people in here, so I guess I'll go ahead and start explaining. Hopefully we get some more people in here soon. So what's up, guys? My name is Charles, aka the Bearded Guru. Many of you coming on probably know who I am. Been in the internet marketing scene for a little over 4 or 5 years now. More of a front-end web developer. I learned that I'm more of a programmer than a marketer. But I love helping people set up whatever they do as far as their sales funnels, their web pages, stuff like that. So I created the GuruScriptz membership site. Essentially, it's going to be a membership site full of plugins that you're going to be able to utilize for your website and your sales pages, sales funnels, stuff like that. So what I decided to do is just go ahead and jump in, give you a taste of what the membership site's going to look like, what you can expect to see once you get in there. So let me switch this. So hopefully you guys can see that. Turn that down just a little bit. That way I'm not blasting your ears open. Let's see. Let me readjust this window here so it's not so big. All right, so essentially what's going to happen is a lot of people, like I've offered a lot of type of JavaScript plugins and scripts that they can use for their pages. What I was finding most, though, was people that were always constantly having issues trying to set up the code themselves because they don't know HTML or programming in general. And the whole idea behind it was to fix it to where individuals don't have to learn how to program or have to spend, hiring developers to come in and do the work for them. I try to make the process as simple as possible. So that's why I created the GuruScriptz to be able to allow for script generators. So basically, you get into the plugin, whichever one you're going to play with, and you just basically throw in your types of you just follow the directions as far as what information it needs from you, and then once you're done, you press the generate button, and boom, it prints out all of the code that you need. And essentially all you need to do is just grab that code, copy it, paste it in whatever platform that you're using, whether it's ClickFunnels, WordPress, HTML site, lead pages, OptimizePress. It really doesn't matter what you're utilizing the code in, as it should work, as long as they give you the ability to add your own custom code. So first up, we have the Guru slider, which just kind of builds off of the free version that I offered out. Many people have come across it through YouTube, or it's been passed around within the ClickFunnels community. What I created here, like I said, is basically a code generator. Essentially what it offers is the ability to create as many images as you would like as far as the settings is concerned. So you could have 100 images here if you wanted to. The ability to remove whatever you didn't need, and then pretty much all you need to do is enter whatever the image URL that you're trying to host. So if you're using a service such as ClickFunnels, you can upload all your images into the image manager, and at that point you can just grab the URL needed for that image. And it is, because it has to host from a HTTPS source, it's a great way to be able to host your images without having to pay for like hosting or some other type of server low storage space. So let me just give you an idea of what is set up here. So essentially what we'll do, we'll just take these image URLs that I've got set up already here. So we're going to do basically a 3-page slider. So you would come in here and then paste your URLs in for whatever images that you're trying to use inside of the slider. Copy them out, paste them in. And then now sometimes people want to have a spot so that they can so that, you know, say if the image is coming through on the slider and they want to click on it and it wants to take them to a different address. So in here, the click through URL, essentially what you do is put whatever URL you want to send the user if they were to click on whatever image is currently in the slider being displayed at that time. I'm not going to set that up because it's really not needed, but some people might have that option or request to have that option, so they have the ability to add that there if they want. After that, another thing that came in with people that were using the Guru slider from the YouTube series or whatnot, they weren't able to actually edit how long they wanted the delay. Some people wanted it more than the 7-second delay that I had set up. Some people wanted it less. So I gave you the ability to basically paste in here how many seconds that you wanted the slider to sit on each frame before it moves over. So in this example, I'm just going to put 4 seconds here. Then you have the direction. Before I gave you just one direction, which was left. Now you have the ability to go left, right, up, or down. Future versions of this, as I'm rolling out more and more updates to each one of these plugins, will offer more and more transitional elements, such as fade out, fade in, all the cool little things basically that a JavaScript slider can offer you. And then down here you have the buttons. Most of the time whenever you have slider images, they have kind of like the menu buttons that run along the bottom. Some people like to keep them, some people don't, so I gave you the option to be able to turn them on or off. So after you get all your images set up in here, pretty much all you have to do is just hit the generate button, and at that point it's going to print out your slider there, and it's all going to be set up for you. All you have to do is pretty much just click the information, copy it, and then I will show you over in a just in a ClickFunnels example how to actually set that up there. So essentially we would have the page here, and then we want to do, say, a 3-column row here, space that out just a little bit, and this slider is responsive, so you don't have to worry about it changing based on what size. So no matter what type of column space you put it in, it will adjust itself accordingly. So we take the custom HTML, we paste that in here. And so that was all the information that was generated by the system once you created that preview button. Let me get rid of this section here. And so then next, oh, you can't even see that. I forgot. Hang on. I apologize. I forget you gotta have the, let me see here. I forgot you can't. I hate these stupid things. Don't want the browser source. I want display capture. Well, that just made it crazy. Let's see. Don't want them. There we go. All right. So I apologize about that. Facebook Live noob here. Anyway, so you take that information, you just paste it within your code editor. So like I was saying, this is all the code that was generated once you set that up. And then once you close that out, then essentially what we need to take is the custom CSS here, and so we'll copy that, and then we want to paste that in the custom CSS section. So you'll paste that in, and then once you have that set up, the last thing you need to do is create the script source for the JS file here. You can host it yourself, or currently right now you can just host it from my Amazon S3 account. In order to do it from my Amazon S3 account, all you need to do is right click the download button. You want to copy the link address, and then go here, and inside of your tracking code section you want to add a script tag, and then give it a source equals, paste that link in, close that, and then close the script. and then you're good to go. So once that's set up, you'll save the page, and then as you preview it, you'll see your at that point your slider will show up wherever you have it set up across your pages. So that's the Guru slider. Next thing I have in line is the Guru timer. Essentially, this is an actual countdown timer that will cookie your users as they're coming through your pages and will actually remember when they left off. So say you had a countdown timer for 30 minutes and you were showing it for a special offer. If they decide to leave, as long as they came back within that 30-minute time frame, then the countdown timer will continue to count down the remaining time left of the user. I also gave the ability here to be able to customize this however you see fit. You can just change the colors by accessing the color changer and then hitting OK, and that'll change how your colors are set up. And it's pretty straightforward as far as this is the outer color, inner color, timer font color, and then the bottom font color there. Once you have your options set up, you can even come in here and then click these buttons here, and that will actually create a transparent background, so you don't have to worry about having anything other than the timer and the day information, or the information down here as well. So pretty much the inputs sections here, you'll be able to set how many days you want the timer to set, how many hours, how many minutes, seconds. Very similar to the way the ClickFunnels settings is set up for their countdown timers. The timer ID, this might confuse some people. In a future release of this particular plugin, I'm going to be giving you the ability to be able to make you're going to be able to store all of your different types of timers that you've created in the past, all inside of my database, and you'll be able to access them at a later time period. So this will give you the ability to be able to set up multiple different timers that can even run on the same exact page. You know, if you had different offers that were running at the same time, so having a timer ID will keep them separate from each other whenever they're loading up. Cookie expired timer is pretty straightforward. Essentially, say you wanted to offer it, and once it expires, you could keep somebody from coming back to the thing for, say, up to 7 days, and then you wanted to have that they could have access to come back to it at a later time period if they wanted to, or you could ultimately expire it out for up to 365 days. It's just your choice on that. Redirect URL, once the timer expires, where do you want to send them? So essentially, we'll just go through. I'm just going to set 1 to all of these, and this timer ID, and then I'll just put 7 there, and we'll do 11 seconds here, and say we want it to send them to Google after expired. So once you have that information set up, and when you hit the generate timer code, it's going to take whatever settings that you set for the particular timer up here at the top, and it's going to generate all of that code for you. So once you press that button, it'll give you all the information that you need to set up. Very similar to the slider, you're going to paste your information here into a custom HTML element, or in the header tracking section of your page, or head in your head. If you're coding this yourself, as far as your website, you'd put this in the head area of the page, and then whatever custom CSS that you would have set up here. So to explain that real quick, so come in here, and you don't have to worry about messing with any of this code, because as soon as you click in there, it's automatically going to select it, and you just have to copy it at that point. So then you want to go in here, paste your code in. Like I said, grab this, and this is going to go in the header section of your page. So paste that in, and then your custom CSS ultimately will go in the custom CSS section as well. You paste that in, you save it, and then once you preview the page, you'll see your countdown timer is now continuing to count down based on the settings that you set. And if I were to refresh this page, instead of it sending me away and back, it's going to continue counting down from the time I left off. So great little feature there. I know a lot of people wanted the ability to be able to track customers as they left and come back, because sometimes you don't want to expire the page as soon as they leave. You want them to be able to come back within a given time frame. So that's why I created this plugin, to essentially give you that opportunity. And then lastly, what I have available right now inside of the just delete it. Oh, let's see here. And lastly, what I created, a lot of people have like tutorials, they have training, they have different types of instructional material that they want to give to people so that they can basically decide on whether or not the individual learned what they were supposed to learn as they came through. Currently, people don't have a very inexpensive way to be able to create that quiz. So currently right now, this is a very bare bone quiz element that I set up simply because there's so many different ways that this quiz could actually be utilized. And instead of creating a whole bunch of fluff, I wanted to make sure that I was only offering exactly what the community wanted. So currently right now, you can set up the quiz basically to answer the questions that you have set up inside of here. As you can see, going through the quiz. As you go through, you answering your questions, it checks to verify to make sure that you choose the right ones, and once you do, it'll give you a complete message here. There's, like I said, there's multiple different ways we can go about progressing with this plugin, such as creating some type of certificate and then asking for, you know, the content like the person's name or whatnot, and we can generate a PDF file from that. But like I said, I want more direction from the community as far as how this is available to them and for their needs before I started adding a whole bunch of options that pretty much nobody was going to use. And then essentially they can even start over and do the quiz again. And so pretty much the same thing. You fill out the information here. You can add however many answers that you need. Essentially, that's where it gets kind of tricky when you're trying to take the input fields and setting them up. It is doable, but I'll have to look more into how Infusionsoft works in the sense of how to get my quiz to tap into, because essentially all we would really need to do is create custom input forms inside of your page itself, and then once we match those up with whatever the Infusionsoft fields are, I'm assuming that you're going to have to go through the HTML form integration, simply because, as you know, especially through like ClickFunnels, you can't go through the API doing custom fields. So doing the HTML form integration, it would be able to create the possibility to be able to create different types of custom fields for whatever the questions, which ones they got wrong. I mean, there's multiple different ways we can do that, and then it'll store all that information on the page, and once it goes to submit, it will pass that through based on the HTML form integration that you have set up. So definitely that's a direction that it can go, no problem. But so you would ask your question, you put whatever your question is here, and you can throw your answers in. You can add as many answers as you want, and then remove however many answers. And this essentially just choosing which option is the correct option. And once again, you can add as many of these as you want. And if you get too crazy with it, you can always collapse them down. And that way, you're just not taking up your entire screen at that point. Quiz title here, this is basically what changes whatever title it is. And keep in mind, like I said, this is the bare bone quiz plugin. I do plan on adding more customization features, such as changing your fonts, changing your background colors, stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to introduce it to the group first, and then build from there as far as what people wanted in the long run. That way, I'm not wasting my time, and I'm not putting a whole bunch of crap in there that people are just like, yeah, whatever, I don't even want to bother with this. So I don't want some huge heavy software deal that needs to be thrown on the page. It's going to kind of slow it down with a bunch of crap that nobody wants. So that's the main logistics behind that. And then once you have your quiz done, so you just hit the generate quiz, and it'll put the mobile responsive. Yes, it will. It's set to be 100% width. So whatever container that you have it set into, it will squeeze down or open up based upon whatever container it's sitting inside of. All of my stuff, I try to make sure it's mobile responsive, because I understand that, you know, mobile is the direction everything's going to. Everybody's got a smartphone these days, and everybody's trying to get their content on the smartphones. So having the ability to make sure your stuff looks good between your desktop and your mobile devices is definitely a top priority in my eyes. So yeah, so these are the first 3 that are going to be introduced right now during the beta launch. I do have a lot of plans to bring out a lot more. I just kind of wanted to get the ball rolling on this as I'm trying to launch this. There is, once you become a member, you'll have the ability to sign up for a feature request Facebook page or group. Once you join that, you'll be able to put in whatever feature request for any of the plugins that I currently have, or the ones that are coming in the future, any changes that you want. And if I got enough feedback from the community to be able to, you know, that requesting a specific feature, then I'll do whatever I can to make sure that request is completed. There are some types of limitations, so I mean, I can't create the world for you. I wish I could, but unfortunately, you know, there are some type of limitations, but I'll do everything within my power to make sure that I'm giving back to you guys as much as possible. You'll always be able to see new updates of things that are rolling out. I have Font Factory that I'm currently working on. This will give you the ability to make animations with like your headline elements, changing words out in a sequence, making them grow big, grow small, just all kinds of little design elements listed there. A Guru's testimonial, essentially it'll be kind of like a slider format testimonial. Instead of having to have a whole bunch of testimonials stacked up on top of each other, a user would be able to switch in and out between the testimonial images and the text. So it makes it a little more compact, a little bit more neat, and more professional looking. And I'll also offer my support. So anytime any issues come up with the plugins that you need assistance with, you'll hop over into the support channel, and from there, let me know what's going on, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, basically. So yeah, so like I said, this is just a soft beta launch. I just wanted to see if I had enough interest from the community and people around that wanted to that wanted to be a part of this. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time creating something that just nobody wanted to use. So what I essentially did is just create a soft launch for everyone to get in. At a further date, if enough interest is in there, and after I get more plugins in there, the price will go up. However, all of those that came in at the beta level, you all get a special discount moving forward if you choose to stick around once all the new plugin ideas come in. The various other ideas that I have coming down the pipeline that are just, you know, I'm considering, but I definitely hope you guys will be around for those products when they come out. So yeah, so that's basically the GuruScriptz as it is right now. Like I said, I have a whole lot of ideas of how I want to push this in the future. So hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. I'm kind of nervous right now, so if any of you know me, I'm like acting way out of character. So hope you don't mind. But yeah, so essentially right now the beta cost to sign up is going to be $9.99 per month. Like I said, later on down the road, that price is going to go up, but everyone who gets on at the beta level will get a special discount moving forward once that price does rise. I mean, I'm not trying to get rich off of this. That's not my intention whatsoever. The cost, I mean, the way I look at it here is you're paying basically for me to help support whatever I'm offering to you. The plugins are free. So once they get full-fledged little web softwares, that's when I'll consider about raising up the price. But right now, I just want to offer you guys as much value for you guys as possible inside of the membership site. So with that being said, if you guys are interested in taking advantage of this, I will give you the link inside the box here, and you can head over there and jump in. I know I'm so unprofessional. I should have had this shit done already, but you know, it was hard enough trying to get Facebook Live to work properly. All right, so if you're interested in taking part of the new beta system, you can head over to that URL there, and I hope to see you on the inside. And if anybody else has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask now, and I'll be happy to go over what I can. Oh, and another thing to point out is what I plan on doing is bringing, because I've got like so many tutorials and stuff out, especially for like ClickFunnels. I've got so many spread out all over the place. I do plan on making a basically a tutorial page or a category basically to where you'll be able to go in and access all of that without it being, you know, without having to search all over the place to get a hold of that information. And especially in like the features request, if it's not necessarily has to do with, say, a type of plugin, what you can do is let me know what type of training that you might be interested in, and that can be added as well in the future. Essentially, what I want to try to do, you know, everybody, some of these developers, they're entirely too expensive for what is actually needed. Most people themselves can do a lot of this if they just have a little bit of training on it. Most of your design elements is happening inside of your websites. It really doesn't take a rocket science to figure it out, but people start thinking, oh, it's programming, so it's kind of difficult and hard. So essentially I want to be able to offer training on it so that you can understand it's really not that difficult to get that up. This beta launch that I'm doing right now, I'm only leaving this up for a couple days simply because right now I want to get a core group in, and I want to be able to work with them as much as possible to make this truly something big. But they're going to have full access to everything that's in here. I'm assuming, you know, it really depends on how many plugins I end up rolling out. What I want to try to do is get up to 6 different plugins set up, and then have them all detailed out and move to the version 2.0 of each one of those plugins. And at that point, that's when I'm going to raise the price and take it out of beta. So I'm hoping within the first 3 months or so of getting people in here and utilizing the system. At that point, then consider moving forward with the releasing the taking the beta off and actually doing a full release of the system. But yeah, so I mean, essentially, I just want to make sure that, you know, you don't have to be a 15-year developer programmer to do most of the stuff. A lot of the stuff's very simple to do, and it only takes a few lines. So, as much as I can educate the community as possible, I'm always willing to assist in that. So yeah, so. Everybody, appreciate your time. I know it's running pretty long, and I know there's basketball games going on right now that people want to kind of get into it. So once again, I appreciate you guys sticking around this long and dealing with the technical difficulties at first, but I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside. So take care, guys. How do I turn this off?